I want to start by saying something simple. Your brain is not fixed. Over decades of research, the rise of neuroplasticity as a central concept in neuroscience, we've learned the adult brain continually remodels itself in response to experience. That means the habits you adopt today can shape the networks that determine how you think, remember, perform tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through 5 practical, science-backed brain hacks. They aren't fads. They're rooted in how neurons form and strengthen connections when we practice rest focus. These strategies are designed to be daily habits, small changes that compound over weeks and months to produce measurable gains in learning and memory. My goal is to make this actionable. When I talk about deliberate practice, I mean something very specific. Focused, effortful, feedback-driven repetition aimed at improving a micro skill. This is different from mindless repetition or simply putting in hours. Deliberate practice forces your brain to operate at the edge of current ability, which promotes synaptic strengthening and circuit reorganization. Neurons and synapses respond to patterns of use. When you repeatedly and intentionally practice a subcomponent of a task, you create stronger, more efficient pathways for that action or thought. The key elements are focus, challenge, feedback. Each session should be aimed at pushing performance just beyond comfort. That mismatch between current ability and the task triggers neuroplastic change. Let's make it concrete. Suppose you want to improve public speaking. Break the skill into micro skills. Posture, breath control, vocal projection, opening lines, gesture, timing. Don't try to master everything at once. Isolate one micro skill per practice session. Spend 15 to 20 minutes intentionally working on that element, record it, and get feedback. When you receive precise feedback, your brain can detect error and adjust. Feedback closes the loop between action and correction. Feedback can come from a coach, a peer, or from reviewing your own recordings. Make feedback specific. What improved? What didn't? What to try next? Another important point. Variability during practice helps generalization. Once you've achieved proficiency, practice in different rooms for different audiences or under mild stress. This diversity helps the brain build robust, flexible neural representations. Deliberate practice sessions don't need to be long. Shorter, intense sessions are often better than marathon, unfocused efforts. That pattern of strain and recovery mirrors how synapses consolidate gains, much like muscles after weight training. Finally, track progress and iterate. Deliberate practice is an ongoing cycle. Set a target practice with focus, get feedback, reflect, and adjust. The spacing effect is one of the most robust findings in cognitive science. Information reviewed across intervals is remembered far better than information crammed in a single session. From a neuroplasticity standpoint, spaced repetition supports the repeated reactivation of memory traces, strengthening synaptic weights each time a memory is retrieved. Every time you retrieve information, you're not just checking whether you remember, you're re-encoding and reinforcing the underlying neural patterns. Spacing those retrievals over days and weeks causes those patterns to be replayed and consolidated at times when the brain is more receptive to change, especially during subsequent sleep cycles. Practically, this is why flashcards. They schedule reviews at expanding intervals based on how easily you recall each item, optimizing the timing of reactivation to produce durable learning. A simple schedule to start. Review new material the same day, then the next day, 3 days later, a week later, and finally, a month later. Adjust intervals based on difficulty and how well you recall the material. Consistency is more important than perfection. Missing one review isn't catastrophic, but frequent gaps will slow progress. Chapter 3. Sleep is not optional when it comes to learning, it is fundamental. During sleep, the brain consolidates newly formed memories. It replays activity patterns, and it prunes weaker synapses to preserve efficiency. Without adequate sleep, the neural traces formed during practice remain fragile and are far more likely to fade. Slow-wave, deep sleep, linked to consolidation of factual memories and cortical reorganization. REM sleep contributes to procedural memory and creative problem-solving. Both stages are important, so fragmented or shortened sleep weakens multiple consolidation pathways. For most adults, targeting 7 to 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep each night is ideal. Prioritize consistent bedtimes and wake times. The brain likes regularity. Avoid late caffeine. Avoid heavy meals close to bedtime. Avoid bright screens near bedtime. Naps can be a powerful adjunct when used strategically. Short naps of 20 to 30 minutes boost alertness without entering deep sleep. Longer naps, 60 to 90 minutes, can include slow-wave and REM stages, offering real consolidation benefits after intensive practice. Recovery also includes stress management. Try brief walks before bed. These reduce physiological arousal and help the brain replay and integrate new information. Chapter 4. Physical activity does more than shape your body. It biochemically primes your brain to learn. Aerobic exercise elevates neurotrophic factors like BDNF. Resistance exercise elevates neurotrophic factors like BDNF. BDNF supports growth and survival of neurons and enhances synaptic plasticity. In short, exercise makes the brain more plastic and receptive to change. Acute bouts of exercise transiently improve attention. Acute bouts of exercise transiently improve working memory. That creates a better window for learning immediately afterward. Studies show exercising before a study session or practice can boost the effectiveness of that session. You're literally preparing the neural soil for new connections to take root. You don't need to train like an athlete to gain these benefits. Brisk walking for 20 to 30 minutes elevates BDNF and cerebral blood flow. Cycling for 20 to 30 minutes elevates BDNF and cerebral blood flow. Jogging for 20 to 30 minutes elevates BDNF and cerebral blood flow. Resistance training twice a week also supports cognitive health. For practical use, consider a short workout 30 to 60 minutes before a focused practice session. Pay attention to how your body responds and tailor intensity to your fitness level. Consistency over time compounds benefits. Regular exercise supports mood, sleep quality, and stress resilience, all feeding back into improved neuroplasticity. Chapter 5. Mindfulness and visualization are two complementary mental practices that shape the brain through focused attention and rehearsal. Mindful attention trains the prefrontal networks responsible for sustained focus and reduces intrusive distractions. Mental rehearsal activates many of the same motor and cognitive circuits used in real performance. Neuroimaging studies show that regular mindfulness practice increases connectivity in attention-related networks and can even change the structure of regions involved in self-regulation. That improved attentional control allows for more productive, deliberate practice sessions because you can maintain focus for longer and resist habitual mind wandering. Visualization, the mental simulation of performing a skill, recruits neural patterns similar to those used in actual execution. A simple visualization exercise. Sit quietly for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and mentally rehearse performing a key micro-skill in vivid detail. Include sensory elements, timing, potential obstacles. Imagine the exact movements. Hear your voice, feel the breath. Then practice the physical skill for 10 to 15 minutes. Repeat this pairing daily. Outro. We've covered 5 practical, science-backed ways to harness neuroplasticity. Deliberate practice, spaced repetition, sleep and recovery, physical exercise, mindfulness, plus visualization. Taken together, these strategies create a synergistic environment where your brain can change efficiently and sustainably. Start small. Pick one micro-skill to practice deliberately. Schedule brief spaced reviews, protect your sleep, move your body regularly, and add short mindfulness or visualization sessions. Track what you do and how you feel. In weeks, you'll notice improved focus, memory, and performance. Over months, those improvements become structural. Neuroplasticity isn't abstract. It's a living process you can engage with right now. Make these habits daily and let your brain do the work. Presented by Decroly Education, written by Dr. Sanjay Gupta.